Hey guys, how's it going? Long time since I've made a video, which I think I say every single video, but uh, it's more sort of relevant to this one. 'Cause I think the last video I made was probably like April 2018, maybe? I think it's been that long. Because right now it's currently November 24th, 20, 2019, so yeah, just about a year and a half, I would say. A little bit over a year and a half. So, to recap, it's a 2014 Toyota Avalon XLE Touring. I bought it used, certified pre-owned in March 2018 with 33,000 miles. As of filming today, I am at 538 miles, sorry. So, roughly, from 33 to 64, so like 31,000 miles in just over a year and a half. Which for me, like 33,000 miles in not even 2 years is like way more than I've ever driven a car. Just like on a year-by-year basis. Miles-wise, probably two big causes. One, just finishing school. Like I had clinicals at all kinds of different hospitals, so I did a lot of driving for that. Two, I did kind of two decent-sized road trips over the summer. I drove to Colorado and back, which is probably like, which after all the driving I did in Colorado was probably 3,000 miles, all together. And then a couple weekends ago, we took a trip up to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, or took a trip down, kind of south. That was like, let's say like, 1,200 miles, round trip maybe. So that's a decent chunk. But other than that, it's just been a lot of, just driving around, I guess, and that's what got me all the miles. My new job, I just graduated. It's only like 12 miles from home, so my commute's gone down quite a bit. Just the miles from here on out are going to be much lower as far as getting picked up on. Maybe 25 miles a day, 28 miles a day. So that way, my high mileage days are over. But putting 31,000 miles in a year and a half, it's been honestly pretty flawless. This year I definitely had to put some work into it, put some money into it as far as just regular maintenance after driving this much. Needed new tires, and then new front pads and rotors and rear pads and rotors. Just because, I can say pretty honestly, I drive like kind of a dick, and then driving aggressively, big car takes a little, it's hard on the brakes to stop it, so what is it? I was maybe 55,000 miles, and let's say 55,000 miles. I needed new front brakes, and they were kind of mentioning, at some point you'll need rear brakes, just keep an eye on that. And I was like, oh yeah, it's fine, like whenever. And then, where was it? I was in, of course, how my luck works. I was in Colorado, and of course, so mountainous, such as steep inclines, declines, and I'm, in Colorado Springs, going down a hill, and I just hear it just grinding, and I'm like, oh great. And I've been planning to go up to Pikes Peak that next day, and I'm hearing my brakes just not happy. It was the rears at this point, because I just done the fronts. The rears were just not happy, just grinding, and I'm like, okay, well, at this point, there's no more Pikes Peak at this point. I can't risk, going down and just, ruin my brakes any more than they already are. And plus, I was still like 1,000 miles from home with these like really loud, obnoxious, just grindy brakes, which they still, felt fine, but, every time you hit the brakes, you give any pressure, you just hear just grinding, not a very confidence-inspiring like kind of feeling or sound. So I kind of, okay, I'm going to skip Pikes Peak, which is kind of a bummer, but I'll take it easy. Luckily, it was like the end of my trip, so I didn't have any much more, steep driving to do. But I made it home okay. And as soon as I came back, I just did the rear brakes. So front and rear brakes. I needed new tires before I went to Tennessee. Again, another mountainous trip. And while it's like I mean, first week of November, it's not going to be any snow or anything, or bad weather. I thought, if I'm going to be driving around, through the mountains, all these windy roads, I might as well have good tires, because the ones I had, they had been on since I got the car at 33,000 miles, and I didn't know, how new or old they were. They looked okay, but the problem was in the rain, I'd be sliding all over the place, and I would definitely spin a lot. So I was okay, before winter, I'll just get new tires. So I got some cheapo Sumitomos. I'm no tires now, but I don't really care. A lot of time, I don't really think. I think a lot of it's in your head when you start buying these, fancy tires. So I didn't really bother with that, but just needed tires, and I found some tires. Funny enough, these are the same Sumitomos that are on our RX350 and on our Camry. So they've lasted, good life on both those cars. I'm gonna floor it here. Let's see. So it hauls. It's quick, and it'll spin the tires. But it's good. And the tires, I don't really care, as long as they work and they're round. And that's all I really care about. So new tires were done. So those are the kind of the three big maintenance things so far. As far as unplanned stuff, I blew the I think I blew the right front tire from a pothole. I think it was right front tire. Now I can't remember. No, it was the left side. I think it was the left front tire I blew from a pothole. So I got one new tire back in maybe it was a couple months ago. But I blew that left front tire, which kind of sucks. So I had to get one new tire. So I had 3 bunk tires and one kind of newer tire. So I just got all 4 new ones just to have a 4 matching set. My key battery died when I was in Colorado, which, granted, I had been getting a low fob battery for a couple months on the little display here, and I had kind of ignored it, it's fine. And of course, I was in. Actually, this was on the way to Denver. I was in Nebraska, and I had stopped in a hotel, and I was getting up in the morning, and I go to my car, and I just grab the handle, nothing happens, and it's crap, what the heck? And I was my bad, did I leave my, with light on, did the battery die or something, what the heck? And then I realized, this stupid battery decided to give out now, when I'm in, freaking Nebraska, so, I had to go find a Toyota dealership. I could have probably found anything, but I went and found a Toyota dealership, and they, changed the battery for $8. But that's definitely just one of those things where you're no, I'll get to it. It'll be okay. And then it kind of ends up going and biting you in the butt. So that key battery, the blown tire, interior wise, has been holding up well. No complaints. I got these WeatherTech mats off Facebook Marketplace probably about a year ago, which have been really nice, which look like crap right now after the mountain trip, but I need to clean, but I'll get to that eventually. Got the WeatherTechs, front and rear, even had the rear mat, also the rear tray, whatever. It was a really good deal, it was $80 or something for the full set, so that was a nice deal. The trim on my sunroof, up here on one side, it's the right side where it's a rubber piece that kind of stays on the track, always falls off. It fell off once before. Oh god, what are you doing? The light is green. Oh god, I don't even want to honk because they just look out of it. It's quick. It's definitely quick. You can't say it's not. But the trim on my sunroof is kind of coming off. It still works, front, back, or tilt, but you can't close the shade without kind of pushing the trim back up out of the way. So I need to go get that fixed in my next service. The last time they just kind of glued it back on there, they didn't charge me. So I'm hoping that they can just do that again. I have a service coming up in like, 450 miles, so I'll probably get that done. Hopefully there, they'll just glue it again and not charge me. Infotainment, same old, little glitchy, little buggy sometimes. I've kind of found on like really cold mornings, if I switch into reverse too fast, and then I go into drive, after like starting it up, it'll keep the backup camera kind of just stayed on till as I'm driving. So you'll be driving forward, I'll drive like a mile or two out of my subdivision, and it'll just be, backup camera on. It'll just be, I'll be driving forward, backup camera on, and you can't get it to shut off. Only way to kind of get the camera to go away is if you just click that some other button, but then it's still kind of a black screen, and eventually it kind of just reboots and it's fine, but that's happened a couple times. But other than that, Bluetooth for my phone works, 98% of the time, so I can't complain about that. Other than that, I think it's been pretty reliable. I knock on wood, I have no complaints. I always have this itch, to find something else, find something different. I mean, the longest I've had a car is probably 2.5 years. I've always been kind of switching to something else. But I'm hoping, this car is solid, doesn't cost me anything, just gas. Now that my commute's gone down a lot, it's, really not that bad. I think I average maybe like, 22, 23. I mean, once it gets colder, it'll go down. But I got 35 when I was on the way back from Colorado. I got 35, which is my, personal best. For a car rated 31, that's pretty dang good. So, keep that going. Just keep kind of trucking along. Hopefully it stays reliable. I'm not really worried about that, I don't think. The nice thing about these, they're pretty simple. They don't really give any problems. So, keep having this truck along, and my goal, I would love to do is, keep working for another 2-3 years. Once I move out, I have my own place where there's space for like another parking spot. I'd buy like a NC Miata, and then keep this like as a winter, when I need a full size car, and then have the Miata for a fun summer car. But I mean, that's really dependent on when I move out. If I can find a place that would give me a second parking spot for like not a ridiculous amount of money. So I'm guessing that's a couple years away, which that'll give me some time. I'm just gonna save up some money, and be responsible. So that is probably a good thing. There's really no rush to do anything. So that'll be nice. Just something to look forward to. But other than that, kind of just keep trucking along and keep going. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna, find somewhere to stop here, and then we'll end the video. At some point, I'm hoping to do a video on our 2013 RX 350 and our 2012 Camry. It's really when I just kind of find the time to, get in those cars and drive them. But hopefully somewhat soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.